Hello, another quick video here. My name is Arjen, I go by Waterfan, and I'm here to explain, in this case, Mystery Geocache GCARDW6 Fieldwork Detective Skills. This was a mystery cache that I published for Going Caching 2024, and I will show you how to solve that one, as well as maybe how you can recreate that one pretty straightforward for yourself. So yeah, let's take a look. So here is the puzzle in question. So you see, published this last year. Um, about a 4 difficulty, might be slightly overrated, but there is a field puzzle as well. So um, the way that this works, and it has the field puzzle attribute here as well, is that this was placed for a mega event in Rome, Georgia, and it really helped if you were familiar with Rome, made it easier. The puzzle talks about a mystery photo album, and we'll see the photos in a second. Um, and they were found at the Rome clock tower, and the coordinates are added as a reference point. We can find those later. They attach the image, and he also says here that the marked when the image was taken in the morning or afternoon. That's going to be relevant for the puzzle. It's 10 images right here, and you see the first two are morning, and then it switches to afternoon, morning, afternoon, etc., etc. So we see here the reference point for the clock tower. So I'll take this coordinate um, and I will just map that out where that is. And you see it maps right into the clock tower of Rome, Georgia. So right to the center of it. So now let's take a look at the first image. Um, Now, if we see this image, we see some water right here. And we also see some buildings, but even when zooming in, it might be kind of hard to see. Now, I've explained this trick in another video. If your image URL ends with _L, you can actually remove that. And that means that Groundspeak has a higher uh, resolution image. And now we can actually see that this is an IHOP and a Chili's. So we're here near the riverside, near an IHOP and a Chili's. So if we go back to our map, we need to be near a riverside. Right here is a river. And if we see here, we see actually a Chili's and an IHOP right here. So pretty quick, we know that we need to be somewhere over here. So take here, I'll take the coordinate and I will store that as well as my point number 2. So let's take the next image. Open that one up. Again, there's a store here, but I can't read it. You might recognize the logo, but I do not. But again, same trick. If I remove the _L, I see a Talbot's right here, and I actually see that the other one mentions the Outback. So we could do a Google search, find out where Outback is. We can browse a little bit on the map and just find out where Outback Steakhouse is located. Again, in Rome, Georgia. And if you do that, you'll find right here an Outback Steakhouse. So this one was taken from what it looked like the other side of the road. And note that the clock tower is in most images visible. So we know that it points, all the images seem to point towards the clock tower. This is the Rome clock tower in the back. So that means that the image should be taken from somewhere over here, right? Right about here somewhere. So there's the Outback Steakhouse. So we'll take that image and we can refine it as well. Now, if we wanted to just verify our location, I can open it in Google Maps. So do it right here. I'm here on the location and using Google Maps, open it up. And we see very similar view like we saw in the picture. Talbots and Outback and the clock tower at the end. That matches our view pretty well. So we know that we are at the right spot right here. So we'll do one more image. So the third one. So this has a church in there. Again, I will open it in another window. And same trick before, I can't really read the church location or the other signs. If you're local, you may recognize it, but also here we can quickly remove, and we can now read that this is the Metropolitan Church. So we now know the Metropolitan Church. You can now Google where that is, or again browse the map a little bit till you find the Metropolitan Church. You'll find it right here. Again, all the images are facing the clock tower. So there you see the clock tower in the background. So if this is the Metropolitan Church and this is the clock tower, then we're standing somewhere over here. So we can take that one, that location, and save that as a point. So yeah, we have these points and we can do that with all these images, right? So this was the first one, the second one, and the third one we found. Now, it helps a little bit if we turn on our directions, so show bearings, and press calculate and update, and it will see from 1 to 2, it's 85 degrees. This is 120, and this is 28 degrees, right? So roughly, right? I mean, we're not exact what's going on. Now we could kind of like have it draw it out as well. So if I say here, well, let's draw out 30 degrees. We see it goes pretty close to our point. If I draw 90 degrees, it's a little bit off, but gets pretty close. And if we do 120, then we see it's almost spot on to that one. So all of them seem to be 30 degrees different. Started with this one, which is the first one that we had to look at. This one was at the 90 degrees. Now, the big hint in here is also that we're talking about a clock tower. So that was actually, and here we're talking about mornings and afternoons are important. Again, maybe referring to time, and that is indeed how this is solved. So if we look at this, we see this one pointing to 3 o'clock, and so that is a 3. This one is pointing at 4 o'clock, so if we do 120 degrees, right, it's 4 o'clock, and so on. We could basically draw out all our points. So we'll say take the same point as number 1, but now we draw the 90 degrees once. Oh, sorry, not 90 miles, 90 degrees. There we go, and we see now a line being drawn to that. We can kind of repeat that and do 30. And if we wanted, we could draw all of them out on our map, right? So same coordinate as number 1, only we now do, for example, 270. And so this gives us all the directions that potentially a clock numbers would go. And we now kind of like understand that that's how the puzzle should work. This is a 3. And if you see, Rome coordinates start with a 3. The next one was a 4. Then the next one pointed to this like 1 o'clock one. That would work because the next number would be a 1. But remember, it's set in the afternoon. So if we take in the afternoon, instead of 1, we're adding 12 hours. We're doing military time. So that ends up being the number 13, which works as well. So we actually have 2 numbers mapped here at the same time. And so the next number would be 13. So that is the trick here in the with the afternoon part, is that you basically have to realize that you now have to do PM and basically use the military time plus 12 hours. Do that for all 10. Find all 10 images like I did with the first 3, and you will get the full coordinate. So this one is pretty easy to replicate in your town. You just have to take the correct pictures. You basically draw out all the coordinates. You make sure that there is like a clock tower or something as a reference point in the middle. And then you just draw out all the different directions. They all change by 30 degrees, right? If you take a regular compass or a clock. And then you just have to find a point that is somewhat recognizable. So if we need a 6, then again, we start at number 1. 6 will be 180 degrees, 6 times 30. So we just need to take something that is right here. So for example, this intersection may have something interesting. So we can look at Google Maps and we can already prepare our puzzle, kind of like even before we go there and see, okay, what does this look like? If I take a picture from here, well, we see there's a nice parking spot there. And you see lots of recognizable points here that we can do, but it is a big intersection. So yeah, certainly we can even go a little bit back so we can take this sign in the picture, Central Plaza, making it more recognizable for somebody. Because we can go anywhere down this line, right? All of that would be count as 6. I wouldn't recommend taking too close to the clock tower because then if you're a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, it becomes kind of ambiguous whether it's this number or the next number. So the further away, you could see that it would be a lot more difference. So if I take again same point as number 1, but now do the 150, so the 5 o'clock, you can see over here there's only like a little bit of a difference. So if I take something on this street, is this a 5 or a 6? But over here I have lots of leeway before it becomes ambiguous, right? Even the other side of the road, still pretty clear that we're at point aiming at a 6. So yeah, that's how this puzzle was solved and made. So yeah, that was it. Please like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it. My name is Arjen, and you can contact me on the Waterfan 5 or by emailing me at my Gmail address as shown below. Always love to hear feedback and comments. That way I know what kind of videos people like and what else you would like me to talk about. Thank you very much for your time.